How y'all doing? This is Jason with how to move to Thailand. And first of all, I always have to start this introductions out like saying my gratitude to you all for taking the time to check out our channel and how we've been able to help so many people in such a short period of time, but most importantly with a small channel, right? Our channel is still hungry, young, and growing, so would definitely like to tip my hat off to you guys and keep those emails coming. You know how we do over here. So now let's kind of get into things I wish I've known before moving to Thailand. And this is more of top of the head. This is nothing scripted. This is just straight off my mind. So the things that I wish I've known to understand, things can add up really quick, right? Things can add up really quick if you're not careful. And I let me tell you, experienced that firsthand myself. How far as like things added up, me getting like different Western food and not paying attention to the cost. And believe it or not, I was spending like I was still back in New York. I was spending like I was still back in New York, and it's been like whoa. And that's one of the misconception, right? If you're not careful, the cost is gonna definitely creep up on you, and you're gonna say to yourself like, "Whoa, where did this money go?" Right? What happened? Now, another thing I've wish I've known before moving to Thailand. I would highly recommend you guys to check out the area first before you go move into Thailand. And that goes for anywhere, right? So if you're looking whether parts of Bangkok, different areas or even Phuket, don't just go and commit to a whole month without looking at the place, without being there, right? Because things change, right? Sometimes you can experience a picture and it looks beautiful and this and that, and you get in there, there's a bunch of sort of problems. And I've experienced that myself. Why am I saying this? Because I experienced that myself. The place I went into, there was kind of like two issues. It was like a little bit of roaches issues, and which is kind of can be quite normal to be quite fair, but it was more of an infestation. And yeah, there was no hot water, right? For someone like me, I need hot water. Like we don't have hot water. It is a big, big, big problem. But the good part about it, I was able to get that situation taken care of, but it was just kind of a bit of a shocker for the first few days because it was they had to find where they were coming from, so it was a bit of issue on that end. But yeah, and then speaking of another thing that I wish I known on the area, like there's areas more convenient than others, right? So I obviously I highly recommend living near the BTS if you can help it, because this is gonna save you so much time and it's gonna be so fluid for you to kind of move around. And don't get me wrong, it can be cheap to get a grab or so forth for us like transportation, but let me tell you, it's nothing like able to walk around with the convenience, right? Able to move around and stuff like that. So I think it's very um, important for you to kind of check out the area, make sure it check out, for yourself. That I would say personally, and do your due diligence, but just don't fully commit to something unless you on the ground first, and then you can be the judge. Make sure everything check out, and then you can decide to extend in that area, making sure things check out, right? So now another thing that I wish I've known, the ATM fees. When I first came to Thailand, let me tell you, I I was getting hit with so much ATM fees, taking money out, right? So each time you pull money out for the ATM machine, it can easily cost you $7 to $8. But depending on the exchange rate, as you know, it can add up. And let's not even talk about the foreign charges that your bank would charge you for you not using their local bank. So at times I found myself, if I'm pulling out, whether that's like $100, 200, I found myself, I'm like, whoa, when it's all said and done, I'm getting charged like 12, $13. And think about that, right? Let's think about that for a sec. If you are um, doing activities, different activities on a daily basis, and obviously it's going to cost, right? So I would kind of recommend, if you can help it more, just take out a larger sum. Take out a larger sum. You're going to help yourself in the end, far as like not throwing money down the toilet, right? Because that's actually throwing money down the toilet when you think about it, especially like if you're gonna kind of tap the ATM machine or whatever, because you kind of run out of cash and stuff like that. So I highly recommend, let me tell you, and just different ways, and I'm definitely get into it on another topic. I'm gonna do like a whole episode of best ways for like to avoiding all these fees and saving yourself some money, right? And I think that's truly important. Another thing to understand, one thing I wish I knew before moving to Thailand, is taking the time out to finding the right agent, the right real estate agent, right? So some are attentive and some not. So it just depends. And quite a few friends had an experience. So I'm speaking on experience from different friends, how they'll find like a agent and they're not there for their needs. It was all good when they first signed up, and I'm sure this can be anywhere in the world too, to be quite fair. This can be anywhere in the world, but I highly suggest for you guys to take the time to research the agent, make sure they kind of check out on going to be able to kind of match your needs. And then don't get me wrong, some people have high expectations, so it doesn't matter, right? Some of us foreigners, we have these high expectations on things. So some of us is really hard to please, but I'm just speaking for those people who are easygoing and have an understanding what you are specifically looking for in a place, whether you're looking to get a place or buy a home. So definitely take your time to do your research. It's gonna help you along the way. Another thing I wish I knew before moving to Thailand, understanding the 90 days. And then real quick, before I dive a little bit deeper, we actually set up a free quiz that's gonna help you to, if you're looking to move to Thailand, it's gonna able to help you, understand where you're at in the process, right? Do you have enough saved? Do you have the whichever visa you're looking to get to? And right, we just kind of make recommendations. We don't give any legal advice. We just give our recommendations, and then obviously you can seek through a professional that can kind of help to take care of your needs, right? So now let's get back into the 90 days. I wish I knew about the 90 days at first, right? But and most of you, if you're just coming to travel here or whatever, you're probably not going to face with that. But if you're depending on the visa, if you here over 90 days, you have to do a 90 days check-in. And believe me, if you do not check in 90 days, it's going to cost you, which happened to me, right? I just found out like this was a little back, like you're supposed to do a 90-day report to check. They want to make sure you're still where you're at, your situation. So kind of keeping tabs, on people, which is quite understandable. But for you per se, definitely do yourself a homework and make sure you understand that if you're staying in country over 90 days, you have to check in. Trust me. So now I don't want to drag this episode out a bit. I just wanted to kind of check in with you guys on what was on my mind, and hopefully this is helpful to you guys. And let me know, are you planning to move to Thailand in 2026, or what are your plans when you get here? Let me know. See you soon in the lands of smile.